it's time for game number 2, day number 2 of the Gulf Coast Showcase. And we've got the first game minutes from tip, seconds from tip. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights and the Western Michigan Broncos getting ready to do battle here at Germain Arena. Hello, everybody. Happy to have you along for the ride. Spencer Siegel here with you as we get going on the consolation side of the bracket. Western Michigan and Rutgers took losses yesterday but can turn things around and work their way back towards 5th place. One of these two teams will have an opportunity to win back-to-back games to end their showcase. As you see up on the top left-hand portion of your screen, Western Michigan and Rutgers, and the winner will play for 5th place tomorrow, taking on the winner of Washington State and East Tennessee State. Rutgers with a hard-fought battle yesterday against South Carolina, ultimately a 10-point win for Dawn Staley's side, but for C. Vivian Stringer and her Scarlet Knights, they certainly hung tough and played with them the entire way, ultimately losing by 10. Western Michigan a loss to St. John's, and down at the bottom portion of your screen, we've got a ranked matchup later tonight between South Florida and Notre Dame. Both sides have been introduced, and we are just about ready for tip-off here at Germain Arena, the Gulf Coast Showcase. For Western Michigan yesterday, it was a struggle to put the ball in the hole. They ended up shooting 29% for the game, but came on better in the second half. The first half was where the struggles came. They were just 8 for 35 in the first half, shooting the basketball. But came back to grab a solid 25 second half points and ultimately a loss to St. John's. Now, they'll wear the home whites, and Rutgers will be in the road blacks today with the red trimmings. And we'll get starting lineups for you as the two sides get ready to take the floor. For Western Michigan, led by Shane Klipfel. To take the tip for the Broncos, Marley Hill. And Stacia Carey will take the tip for Rutgers. Here we go. Carey wins the tip. Rutgers takes control. KK Sanders out there along with Carey. This is Tyler Scaife, who raises and misses. Rebound to Victoria Harris, but it's stolen away by Jordan Walker, and now right back come the Scarlet Knights. Scaife with a no-look dish that was tapped away, and this should be a good defensive battle on both sides. Deja Wimby trying to get herself going early. That could be something to watch for, as Wimby struggled from the field yesterday. She hasn't had the start to the season that she wants, but maybe a bucket like that can get her confidence level up at the beginning of the game. Yesterday, Wimby shot 3 for 11. As Rutgers works it around the perimeter, Scaife sends it to Sanders, who has an open 3 off the mark. Rebound to Marley Hill. Wimby pushes the pace, and now she's a distributor as well. Nearly had an assist. Mobley missed the first effort and picked up the rebound. Goes right back up for 2. A matchup between a team from the Big Ten and the MAC. Long 3 from Fitzpatrick. That's Kathleen Fitzpatrick, who gets the start for the second day in a row. Off the mark. Now in the corner they find Walker, who misses everything with that 3-ball attempt. Scaife comes back down the other way. She rises up from the right elbow and hits. Tyler Scaife led all scorers for Rutgers yesterday with 20 points on 9 of 21 shooting. The pace early on in this one seems to be a little bit faster than what we saw initially from Western Michigan yesterday. And as we take a look at the replay, you see where they whistle Harris for the blocking foul right there. And we talked about the platoon system that Vivian Stringer has implemented here. And now we see 5 new players on the floor for Rutgers as our public address announcer Nate Jackson signals it's a line change, and well, that's about right. So 5 new names for Rutgers, but for Marley Hill, it doesn't seem to matter who's in there. Early on, Western Michigan getting what they want down low. Cade Hill, Siani Cryer, Nigeia Green, Takia Mack, and then Caitlin Jenkins, who gave them some decent minutes in the second half yesterday. Shot off the mark from Cryer. Here comes Wimby, who with a beautiful Euro step gets right to the rack and picks up 2 more. Western Michigan comes out strong here in the first quarter. And watch Wimby coast to coast. Boy, there were no numbers for her. And then how about this move? That's a heck of a play from Wimby. And back in transition, you've got to stop the ball if you're Rutgers, and Wimby goes right around the defense, getting around Cade Hill. And now Western Michigan with an 8-2 lead. Well, early on here in this game for the Broncos, they're trying to find their footing this season with a 2-3 start, but they certainly have the talent. That's one thing that nobody in Kalamazoo is questioning. You've got the Nancy Lieberman Award watch list member in Wimby. Marley Hill has been a force down low, and Brianna Mobley, who was the MVP of Western Michigan's team last year, she's yet to get going really this season, but they'll look for a lot from her. For the Broncos, with their 19-13 record last year, reached the MAC semifinals as an 8 seed. Projected 4th this year behind Central Michigan, Toledo, and Ball State. Last year won 10 straight non-conference games, working their way into conference play. That included wins over the University of Missouri, Kansas City, Loyola Chicago, Bradley, Miami of Ohio, Akron to start conference play. Broncos have 5 straight seasons with a MAC tournament win. And everybody's coming back. They return 11 letter winners from a year ago. And Coach Klipfel says it's actually been more difficult with 11 returning players as opposed to trying to fit new players into a system. You have almost too much depth, and you're trying to figure out your rotations as Cade Hill gets the bucket on the other end. It's been a struggle for everyone to get minutes, he says, but you know what? This is a spot, 3 games in 3 days, where you get a really good chance to sort of experiment with the test tubes and play around with the rotations and see what works best. And right now, this rotation is working just fine for Western Michigan. Marley Hill down low again has made good on her first 2 point-blank mid-range or point-blank shots. And Rutgers trails by 6. Here's Jenkins down low, nice feed to get the bucket inside. Caitlin Jenkins yesterday in the second half was spectacular. 4 of 8, 8 points, 8 rebounds. Most of them were in the second half. And early in the third quarter, Victoria Harris, the other forward for Rutgers, picked up 2 fouls on the same possession. Jenkins came in with Rutgers trailing by double digits, and they brought it back as close as 3. Cryer with a deep 3, off the mark to the right. Broncos nearly broke the press, but Jordan Walker traveled. Before she put the ball down, she shuffled her feet. Walker, the freshman sister of older sister Jasmine. Nearly tapped away and then stolen away by Walker, and here she comes. Up the right side, gets stripped herself by Cryer. They try Mack up ahead, but she can't handle the pass. Cryer pushes the pace. We'll take a look at Takia Mack. You see her on the left portion of your screen right there. She is, yesterday, she was the most charismatic player of all 8 teams. When she hit a 3 yesterday, she gave us a little Steph Curry shimmy shake at the free throw line when the ball was rattling around. Now a bad pass by Western Michigan, and Rutgers returns that with a bad pass of their own. And just take a look at her body language the rest of the way. I would call that a flair for the dramatic, if it stays dramatic, which yesterday it did. Charisma is more of an off-the-court term. I think flair is a good way to put games you see like this. You're down here to play basketball, and this is a business trip for all of these teams. As Mobley gets the bucket down low plus the foul, she'll head to the line for the three-point play. Right now, it's very clear. Western Michigan getting everything they want inside, and Jenkins was caught out of position that time. Nice feed from Walker, who has given Western Michigan some good minutes early. Now here's Brianna Mobley. Makes good on the three-point play. Mobley has 5 early points. And the starting 5 for Western Michigan has played well, 13 points through the first half of this first quarter. It's Mack down low, goes to work, a spin move on Hill. Rebound picked up by Wimbley. Wimby tried the same Euro step. This time we've got a foul. That's the 3rd Rutgers team foul. It's on the floor. Already 11 players into the game for Rutgers. Mael Giles is in, and she guards the inbounds pass. Mobley to take it out. Nearly stolen away, and eventually recovered. That was Nigeria Green who got her hands in there. Wimby in the paint, and she traveled. And that's the play right there where Deja Wimby's got to be able to make the decision with her head up instead of just dribbling into the trees, putting her head down and then getting caught. She started this game well. For Wimby, that's her first turnover. Hill on the floater, no good. Rebound to Wimby. Here she comes again. Picks up her dribble. Mobley down low, has position, gets the bucket. Western Michigan looks like a completely different team than a day ago. Green with a bad pass. Picked up. Walker stops and hits. She okey-doked Giles, and now it's an 11-point lead. Cryer with an open 3. Can't hit. Rebound. Mobley. Pressure from Rutgers and a bad pass. Mobley turns it over. Rutgers has numbers. And instead they'll pull it back out. Green with a pump and a drive. The feed to Mack. Nice up and under from Takia Mack. Mack also provided good minutes yesterday. Hill with the steal. And now Western Michigan has succumbed to some of the pressure. Mack will head to the free throw line. And all of a sudden, Rutgers working their way back in it, forcing back-to-back turnovers. Heading to the line, Mack. Yesterday, hit a three-point field goal, but also was 8 of 10 from the free throw line. 13 points for Mack, 5 rebounds, had 4 steals to lead Rutgers, who stole the ball 10 times against a tough South Carolina squad. Both of these teams turned the ball over, though, at a high rate yesterday as Mack goes 0 for 2. Now back come the Broncos. They do get it across the timeline, and Wimby is fouled. Rutgers with 20 turnovers yesterday. Western Michigan turned it over 16 times, but it was really a communal effort from everybody. I shouldn't say effort, just everybody wasn't really able to handle the ball. Now Wimby has done much better today. Hill doesn't connect on the mid-range jumper. Mobley has been active down low. Can't get the follow. Out of bounds, it stays with Western Michigan. And Jaslyn Rollins, who checks into the game, took a fall out of bounds. She's all right. Jasmine Walker into the game for Western Michigan. Gets a screen from Mobley. Hill wants to go inside. Rejected by Giles. It stays here, 13 on the shot clock. Some good defense by Mael Giles. Mobley can't get the easy one. Hill tries again, in and out. Rebound Mobley, held ball. Possession arrow keeps it with Western Michigan. More substitutions. Desiree Keeling was in the game for about 60 seconds. Now Jordan Wallace gets her first action of the day. Rutgers has brought in everybody in the first quarter. Walker a three. Well offline. Wimby tries to save it. Giles there. Scarlet Knights want to push the pace. In the corner for three. Offline from Green. Rebound to Walker. And here comes Jasmine Walker. To Jordan. Hill passes on the open three, 10 to shoot. Around a screen, Hill has position on Giles, takes one dribble, goes up with it, no good. Rebound to Jordan Wallace. A minute and a half to play in the first quarter. KK Sanders up top. Ten to shoot. Sanders had an open spot. She dribbled to the top of the key. Now Giles is trapped in the corner. Somehow feeds Wallace, who gets the easy two. Tough pass from Mael Giles. A whistle and a foul. That's the fifth Rutgers team foul, which means free throws for Western Michigan. So we'll walk down the other way and shoot, but first we're trying to figure something else out on the floor. And now another large set of substitutions for Western Michigan. First looks into the game for Leah Wool. Cameron Reed will take the free throws. Latondra Brooks is also into the game along with Emma Van Zanten. Under a minute to play. Sanders, well, she took her dribbles. Harris was in the paint for 3 seconds, 3 in the key. Another turnover. Well, that has not been a change from yesterday for these two teams. Turnovers still hounding both teams right now. Walker able to break the press. Too strong on the shot. Rebounded, taken down by Brooks. 8 turnovers for Western Michigan, 7 for Rutgers, and there's the 9th, and here comes Tyler Scaife trying to go coast to coast. She does, shot clock turned off, and if Western Michigan can break the press here, now they'll get free throws as Jasmine Walker was fouled. A 6-point lead for Western Michigan, trying to extend it to 8. Walker makes good on the first. The transfer from Valparaiso sat out last year, started every game for Valpo in 2015-2016. Led the team in scoring and rebounding at just over 12 and 8 per game. 2 for 2. Scarlet Knights will hold for the last shot. Van Zanten knocks it away. Another turnover. 3 seconds. Wimby pulls up amongst the trees, floats it up, doesn't get it to go. And that does it for the first quarter of play. Western Michigan puts 20 on the board after scoring just 23 in the first half of yesterday's game. And we'll take things to a timeout. Quarter number 2. When we come back, this is the Gulf Coast Showcase on Flo Hoops TV.
From the calm waters of the Inner Bay to the spray of the Atlantic surf, nothing provides a more inviting getaway, yet one of the best experiences in the game of golf than the Abaco Club, home of the Bahamas Great Abaco Classic. Come put your game to the test alongside the next generation of PGA Tour professionals as the Web.com Tour tees off its season in the Caribbean. Pro-Am and sponsorship opportunities are available at greatabacoclassic.com. And remember, golf is always better in the Bahamas.
Andrew Landry, the winner here on Abaco.
I came in the week just trying to do my best and didn't get off to that good of a start, but turned it around and then played 3 solid, really good rounds.
Welcome back to the Gulf Coast Showcase here on Flo Hoops TV. Indeed, Western Michigan, a much better first quarter, and they lead Rutgers by 8. And if you're C. Vivian Stringer at this point, you've got to look to your team and say, hey, we're not hitting our shots right now. 6 of 15 is fine. Not hitting our shots from 3 is what I meant. 0 of 6 from beyond the arc. And 8 turnovers. Even with an 8-point lead, Shane Klipfel will turn to his team and say, we need to keep those turnovers down if we want to stay in the lead for the duration of this game. Rutgers comes out in the second quarter working it around the perimeter, and another missed 3, but an offensive rebound. Nice job by Rollins to save it from going out of bounds, and Scaife with the ball. Sanders gets a screen. Scaife will try a 3. Well short. Rebound Marley Hill. Wimby whips it into the corner. Jasmine Walker on the drive. Wimby down low, gets the bucket, no shot. Offensive foul. Good cut from Wimby, and a good find on the pass from Walker, but she went in wildly into the paint. Let's take another look. It was not Sanders, it was the second help that came from the Rutgers defense. Carey couldn't get that one to go, and a loose ball foul sends it back the other way. Vivian Stringer electing to keep that full court pressure on, as Western Michigan has had trouble breaking it thus far. Wimby gets it ahead of everybody else. She spins into the paint. Inside out game, Walker open for 3. Jasmine Walker with the first 3-point field goal of the day. It gives Western Michigan an 11-point lead. Scaife wanted the block. She dribbled out of bounds. Normally when you see a game with 19 turnovers, which we've had so far, you'd say it's an ugly game. I don't think that's the case right now. Before the errant pass, a foul down low. Otherwise, that was turnover number 20. Western Michigan holds on to the ball. Mobley drives to her left. Carey thought she got all ball. Mobley will head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Got her on the arm, they said. Or both arms. Mobley, although she hasn't shot the ball the way she's wanted to at times this season, she has been able to contribute in other ways. 0 for 5 from the field in the loss to Iowa, but 8 for 10 from the free throw line. And already here today, Brianna Mobley 4 for 4 from the charity stripe, as Cryer tries to go coast to coast, and she is fouled. They whistle it on Hill. Now a chance for Cryer, who had a good day yesterday. 2 threes for Siani Cryer. 4 assists to lead the team. Did commit a team-high 5 turnovers, the redshirt sophomore from Newman Goretti in Philly. It's a darn good basketball high school. Cryer was a Class AA first-team All-State selection. And she's a contributor in all kinds of ways. against Wake Forest. 7.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. More deflections. Sanders pushes it up ahead to herself, lost control, and Wimby recovers, picks up the block, and now she wants to push. But every time she goes up the floor, she puts her head down, and right now that's what's troubling. Looks like Sanders got rolled up on that time. And if we take another look here, you'll see Wimby. Well, this time we get the look down low. Fortunate that Sanders is all right as her knee got rolled up right there. And now Sanders will come out of the game. They'll take a quick look at her. Make sure she's all right. Down low they try Carey, who gets doubled. Back out. Scaife misses the jump shot. Wimby the rebound, comes up with it. Into the corner, Walker's got an open look for 3. Too strong, rebound to Carey. Wimby gets another deflection, but it goes right to Giles. And Cryer will set it up with 20 on the shot clock. Carey wanted Rollins to swing. Instead, she goes inside, misses the jumper. There's Wimby again with a rebound, pushing the pace. Head up this time with a 4-on-2. Jordan Walker drives the lane. Too strong off the back iron, out of bounds. It stays with Western Michigan. Mack back into the game for Rutgers. Jasmine Walker with a floater. Bad pass from Wimby. Up ahead, Scaife. Out of bounds. Scaife thought she was fouled. It stays with Rutgers anyway, but Wimby has been active on both ends. Mid-range for Scaife. Rebound takes a hop. Wimby will set it up from up top. High-low pass, Hill to Mobley. Lost it for a moment, got it back, put it back up. "14-point Western Michigan lead. Rutgers has struggled to get going on this end. Their defense has been all right. 6 of 21 from the field, though, and 0 of 8 from 3. Cryer swings it to Scaife, who has not had the shot yet today. Gets that one to go from 5 feet. Mobley. Now Hill. And they're cleaning up on the glass as well. Rutgers played so tough yesterday against South Carolina. And now against Western Michigan, they look like a different team too. Flat-footed on offense. And not a whole lot of movement. Everybody just trying to make the one-on-one play. This time Rollins does that. And lays it in, but for the Scarlet Knights, that's their first field goal of the second quarter. Wimby pushes and hits. Cryer goes over to Stringer asking for the play. Scaife doing what she can in the paint. This is a four-quarter game, and Rutgers, I'm sure we'll get a talking to at halftime. It'll be interesting. We've still got 4 minutes here in the second quarter, but it'll be interesting to see how they come out in the second half. Because right now, on the boards and offensively as well, they've only just started to get going, and that one off of Walker and out of bounds. It'll head the other way rather to Rutgers, and we'll take a break. A 12-point Western Michigan lead. Vivian Stringer wants to talk to her bunch. We'll be back. You're listening to the Gulf Coast Showcase on Flow Hoops TV.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
Welcome back to the Gulf Coast Showcase. Game number 1 of day number 2. You know, we talked yesterday about what these two teams have to do in order to be successful playing 3 games in 3 days. And a lot of that is rolling with the punches of what each day gives you. Not trying to overthink it. You still want to be able to grab the proper scouting reports for the next day, but you're playing back-to-back-to-back days. It's tough to scout in 24 hours for a team. It's more of a chance, as Cryer misses on the elbow jumper, to fix the things that you've done wrong from the day before, rather than figure out what your other what the team that you're playing does well. And for these two teams, when they play in their conference tournament in March, if they do win on the first 2 days, that means they'll have to play 3 games in 3 days. This is the only other time they'll be able to do that. Scaife has been much better in the second quarter. Her shot's starting to fall. That's 3 in a row after starting 0 for 3. And now Western Michigan turns the ball over again. You can't have that. We're coming up with new ways to find turnovers today. Scaife with 8 to shoot. To her left, feeds Carey, gets the bucket. It's back to 8. First time in the game for Leah Wool. She can't connect on the 3. Cryer comes away with the loose ball. In the corner, it's Rollins who's wide open and knocks down a 3 Timeout, Shane Klipfel. 5-point game, and Rutgers stays right with it. Now with 2:21 to play in the first half, Rutgers has come right back and answered with a run of their own. And boy, did they need to get going. That's their first three of the day after starting 0 for 8. And for Rutgers, this is a good test as well. They've played most of their games to start the season on the road at James Madison, Temple, and Charlotte. They did get one game at home against Wake Forest, but then these three Gulf Coast Showcase games technically they're called neutral court games, but it is away from home. After this tournament, though, Rutgers, they get a chance to play some games at home. They'll play 8 consecutive games on campus after this tournament. A steal, but a kick on Scaife. The Big Ten ACC Challenge pits them against North Carolina State. Then they get 7 games at home in December, and those are 7 of their 8 games in December. They'll end the month at Michigan State, but before that, 7 games at home: Siena, Virginia, Seton Hall, Fairleigh Dickinson, Princeton, Houston, and Purdue to start Big Ten Conference play. With 2 minutes to play in the first half, it's a 5-point Western Michigan lead. Down low, good feed from Rollins. Jenkins stayed with it, got the bucket. It's a 3-point game. That was deflected, and it was off of Scaife. The defense from Rutgers has stayed tough. Each team shooting 12 for 29 exactly, 41%. Western Michigan trying to answer and respond. Rutgers 9-0 run. It's Wimby who scoots it up underneath. Can't get it to drop, and Jenkins skies for the rebound. All of a sudden, before the half, this is to tie it. In and out and in for Tyler Scaife. And we're square at 31. A 12-0 Rutgers run. Hill trying to find Mobley. It wasn't there. On the drive, the floater, no good. Hill the rebound and a held ball. Possession arrow stays with Western Michigan. And Najee Smith into the game for the first time. Her first shot off the mark. Five seconds separating shot clock and game clock. Let's see if Western Michigan tries to go quickly. They do. Mobley gets it to go. That's where Western Michigan has had their success in the first half. Down low. They sort of got away from that during that run. It stops what was a 14-0 run by Rutgers to tie the game. Now Western Michigan grabs the lead back. 10 seconds left in the first half. 4 seconds. Rollins is wide open. And that's the first half. Rutgers had a chance to take the lead at the very end, but it's Western Michigan with a 2-point lead. Back and forth we go. Broncos led for 18 and a half of the 20 minutes, and they do take a lead into the halftime locker room. We'll be back after an extended break for halftime statistics and get you ready for all 4 games, the remaining 3 after this one, on the Gulf Coast Showcase this is the Gulf Coast Showcase that you're watching on Flow Hoops TV.
Sun, surf, and one of the most challenging tests in all of golf await your game at Sandals Emerald Bay, located on the pristine shores of the Great Exumas in the Bahamas. Featuring 6 breathtaking oceanside holes, the Greg Norman designed course is home to the Great Exuma Classic, which kicks off the 2018 Web.com Tour season. Pro-Am and sponsorship opportunities will allow you to play alongside the next generation of PGA Tour professionals. Visit GreatExumaClassic.com. And remember, golf is always better in the Bahamas.
Is probably the best putting week of my life. I don't think I had a single 3-putt, and just really grinded, made a lot of 6-8 footers, didn't let the bad shots bother me. I felt like I was in my own little bubble out there on the golf course, and the wind was affecting my ball but wasn't affecting me. And the way I started the tournament, being 6 over through 6 holes and turn it around and finish 2 under, I couldn't be happier.
Tears of joy and well earned. 5 times the winner on the Web.com Tour, Kyle Thompson, the winner of the Bahamas Great Exuma Classic. Sun, surf, and one of the most challenging tests in all of golf await your game at Sandals Emerald Bay, located on the pristine shores of the Great Exumas in the Bahamas. Featuring 6 breathtaking oceanside holes, the Greg Norman designed course is home to the Great Exuma Classic, which kicks off the 2018 Web.com Tour season. Pro-Am and sponsorship opportunities will allow you to play alongside the next generation of PGA Tour professionals. Visit GreatExumaClassic.com. And remember, golf is always better in the Bahamas.
Is probably the best putting week of my life. I don't think I had a single 3-putt, and just really grinded, made a lot of 6-8 footers, didn't let the bad shots bother me. I felt like I was in my own little bubble out there on the golf course, and the wind was affecting my ball but wasn't affecting me. And the way I started the tournament, being 6 over through 6 holes and turn it around and finish 2 under, I couldn't be happier.
Tears of joy and well earned. 5 times the winner on the Web.com Tour, Kyle Thompson, the winner of the Bahamas Great Exuma Classic.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
From the calm waters of the Inner Bay to the spray of the Atlantic surf, nothing provides a more inviting getaway, yet one of the best experiences in the game of golf than the Abaco Club, home of the Bahamas Great Abaco Classic. Come put your game to the test alongside the next generation of PGA Tour professionals as the Web.com Tour tees off its season in the Caribbean. Pro-Am and sponsorship opportunities are available at greatabacoclassic.com. And remember, golf is always better in the Bahamas.
Andrew Landry. Andrew Landry, the winner here on Abaco.
I came in the week just trying to do my best and didn't get off to that good of a start, but turned it around and then played three solid, really good rounds.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were
From the calm waters of the Inner Bay to the spray of the Atlantic surf, nothing provides a more inviting getaway, yet one of the best experiences in the game of golf than the Abaco Club, home of the Bahamas Great Abaco Classic. Come put your game to the test alongside the next generation of PGA Tour professionals as the Web.com Tour tees off its season in the Caribbean. Pro-Am and sponsorship opportunities are available at GreatAbacoClassic.com. And remember, golf is always better in the Bahamas.
Andrew Landry, the winner here on Abaco.
I came in the week just trying to do my best and didn't get off to that good of a start, but turned it around and then played three solid, really good rounds.
Welcome back to the Gulf Coast Showcase. It's halftime here in game number 1. The Western Michigan Broncos with a 2-point lead over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Spencer Siegel with you, joined for halftime by Matt Fisher, who's been working stats over on the other side for this entire tournament. And we talked about it, Matt, in the first half. 26 turnovers in total. Western Michigan with 17, eclipsing their turnover total from game 1.
I think that press gave them a lot of trouble, and Rutgers actually played with the press throughout the South Carolina matchup as well, gave South Carolina a lot of trouble, kept that game close throughout the duration, only lost by 10 points, I believe. So I think really give Western Michigan credit, though, overcoming those 17 turnovers and I don't want to say dealing with the press, but creating 9 of their own as well. So great job on the Broncos' part. And for Rutgers, you're down by 14 at one point, I believe it was, coming back, tying the game at 31, going into halftime, down by 2. You have to be disappointed, I think, if you're the Scarlet Knights, but at the same time, you have to be a little encouraged that this game is still close.
Tyler Scaife and Brianna Mobley lead the way with 13 points for each of their respective sides. Those two have been the catalysts on offense. And on the defensive end, 3 blocks from Scaife and Jordan Walker with 3 blocks of her own, or rather 3 steals, I should say. 3 steals from Scaife and Walker. And as we look to the second half, Matt, this is a matchup where whichever team turns the ball over less, in my opinion, is going to be the one that wins the game.
You would think that, but again, with Western Michigan's 17 turnovers in the first half, they led throughout I believe the majority of the first half. It was only tied once, I think, at 31.
Yeah, they led for 19 minutes in that first half.
I think the key for me is going to be inside. You mentioned Tyler Scaife, 20 points against South Carolina. She had a huge game against the Gamecocks. 13 points so far today in the first half. So I think if Western Michigan can control the inside and start hitting some outside shots, the Broncos have a good chance to win this one. But if Rutgers really lets Scaife go, this one could swing back in the favor of Rutgers.
Before we take a quick break, we'll just take a look over at the tournament bracket to see what we have in store for later today. Western Michigan and Rutgers on the top left-hand portion of your screen. Our second consolation game between Washington State and ETSU, and then the nightcap on the winner's side of the bracket, St. John's and South Carolina, and Matt, South Florida and Notre Dame.
That one's going to be fun. South Florida really took it to Washington State yesterday and put that game away in the first quarter. And Notre Dame had some problems with ETSU a little bit, but pulled away late in that one. So it's going to be interesting to see how Notre Dame bounces back. Their graduate transfer point guard, I can't remember her name right now, Lily Thompson, I believe. She was at Stanford. She was here a couple years ago. Really impressed a lot of people. Look for her to have a bounce-back game. And that one's going to be a fun one. That nightcap today at 7:30. That's going to be a very fun matchup.
We'll take a quick break and bring it on back. Matt, thanks for joining me during halftime.
Anytime,
We'll be back.
Spencer.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh, no. Not again.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh, no. Not again.
Welcome back to the Gulf Coast Showcase here at Germain Arena. We're just outside of the campus of Florida Gulf Coast University. We are at the stadium where the Florida Everblades call their home, the ECHL hockey team. We're playing basketball, though, here over the next 2 days. We've already played 4 full days, 3 days on the men's side, and this is day 2 for the women. And, well, from what I saw in day 1, this has been the most exciting game of the 5 so far. 2-point game, Western Michigan with the lead. As we begin the second half, Rutgers in the black uniforms will be headed to our left. Western Michigan in the home whites, they'll go to our right. A different 5 than the starting 5 for Rutgers out of the second half gate, as Jenkins couldn't get the runner to go. It's Jenkins, Mack, Rollins, Cryer, and Scaife, and immediately Western Michigan pushes the pace, and Jasmine Walker has an opportunity for a 3-point play. And good job by Deja Wimby that time to get the ball out of her hands quickly. Got it right to the spot where Walker wanted, and then she did the rest, driving inside. Jasmine Walker makes it a 4-point Western Michigan lead. Down low, they want Jenkins once again. Nice spin move. Can she finish? Yes. Caitlin Jenkins, who came up with a big second half yesterday, is already busy down low in half number 2 here today. Wimby drives and is blocked. A much more efficient game, though, today from Deja Wimby, as Walker lost it. It's stolen away. Rollins feeds Scaife up ahead. Rutgers has come back to tie the game. Wimby, at least in terms of a shooting aspect of this one so far, 3 of 6 from the field, and has 8 rebounds. 3 ball on the way short. Wimby, for somebody who's 5'7", 8 rebounds, she's gotten in there. It's been impressive. Inside out. Scaife lost it on the ground. This should be a held ball. It is. And the possession arrow goes back over to Western Michigan. It's a little bit different in the women's game. With 4 quarters, the possession arrow changes a lot more often than you'd think, because in the men's game, at halftime, you give the ball to whoever has the possession arrow. Well, at the end of each quarter, that possession arrow changes. We've had 3 held balls in this game. All 3 of them have gone to Western Michigan. That's because Rutgers has started with the ball in each of the quarters. Good defense down low from the Scarlet Knights. They have a chance to take their first lead of the game. Rollins baseline, underneath, beautiful move. Jaslyn Rollins, and Rutgers indeed is ahead for the first time today. Mobley hits. It's now 37-37. We're good, 37 all. Mack in the game as well for Rutgers. And she's open for 3. Wimby with her 9th rebound of the day. Down low, Hill has position, can't finish. Cryer wants to set things up. Down low, it's Jenkins with Hill on her. Hook shot off the backboard. Caitlin Jenkins with 4 quick second half points. Wimby loses it, picks it back up. Feeds Hill again. This time she finishes. Deja Wimby on the boards, acting as a distributor as well. 4 assists to go along with 9 rebounds and 6 points. Cryer tries a 3 and connects. Siani Cryer comes right back, and then Wimby feeds Hill once again, but Jenkins says no, it's out of bounds and stays with Western Michigan. Cryer had 2 threes yesterday. That's Rutgers' 3rd 3 of the day. Rollins, Scaife, and now Cryer have each connected on 1. Wimby probes inside, underneath. Too many trees. She goes up. Rutgers playing with more confidence here in the second half as they work it around offensively. Rollins pumps. Back out Sanders, 8 to shoot. On the drive, lost the ball. It stays here. With 4 seconds on the shot clock, Rutgers will have the ball when we come back. We'll take a timeout with a timeout on the floor. 3-point Rutgers lead on Flow Hoops TV.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
Is Rutgers with a 3-point lead as we move in through this second half now. The winner of this game gets an opportunity to come away with back-to-back wins to close out the Gulf Coast Showcase. After a tough loss for Rutgers yesterday, they came out somewhat flat in the first half. They've really rebounded here. No pun intended on that one. They've really just gotten after it in the second half and towards the end of that first half. The rebound battle right now is actually being won by Western Michigan. It's 33-14. But each team shooting the ball better than they did a day ago. Rutgers shooting 45% now from the field, and there's Caitlin Jenkins with two more. She has been the second half hero in both games so far that Rutgers has needed. Right off of the inbounds, they go right to her. She has an opportunity for a three-point play. Friendly roll, in and out. Now it's up to the Broncos to respond. It's Jasmine Walker. Misses the jump shot. Rebound down to Rollins. In the corner, no look pass for Sanders, who sends it back out. And again, it's in the hands of Cryer. Rollins from the free throw line. Hill bodies for the rebound. Walker on the drive. Hill, right elbow. Yes, sir. Marley Hill with a good first half. 6 points, now has 8 in the game. Cryer. Harris. Now Jenkins. Underneath, back out Cryer. No look to Rollins, who pumped. A whistle and a foul. Nearly traveled. Wimby picks up her second. Carey into the game as well as Tyler Scaife. Jenkins gets a hand from her side after a solid contribution here in the second half. Sanders to her left, floats it up off the backboard. She'll head to the line to shoot 2. KK Sanders. Haven't seen her as aggressive, I think, as Vivian Stringer wants her to be. 3 points yesterday for Sanders on 1 of 3 shooting. Now today, this her first chance to pick up points from the foul line. Nicknamed KK, named Kadeja. Only player to start all 30 games last year. Was second in the Big Ten at 2.5 steals per game. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Broncos break the press. 45-41, Rutgers in the lead. Hill with a dribble, step, move, and a basket, Marley Hill. She now has 12. Cryer tries a triple. Rebounded Carey, strong board, back out. Scaife, mid-range. That's been her shot in this tournament. Western Michigan having all types of trouble breaking this press, and it turns into more Rutgers points. That's too easy. Wimby does get it up ahead. Now they can settle things down as Brooks puts it back in the hands of her point guard. Wimby goes right in, puts her head down, misses the floater. Here comes Sanders. Under 2 to play in the third quarter. It's now a 6-point Rutgers lead. Harris lost the ball. Out of bounds, it goes over to Western Michigan. Deja Wimby, so far today, 3 of 7 from the field, 9 rebounds, 4 assists with 6 points. She does have 5 turnovers. Certainly Western Michigan is not where they are without her today. In terms of hauling down the rebounds, coming up with a couple of really nice passes into the post. There's Wimby making a nice pass up ahead, but caught in traffic was Walker. Sanders has an open 3. Big time rebound that time from Brianna Mobley. Mobley now has 10 rebounds and a double-double. Wimby drives, dishes, kicked ball. They get it into Wimby. Down low, Hill. One dribble. Again, Marley Hill has come up with the points that Western Michigan needs to stay in the game in the second half. She's got 14. Wide open three. Offline from Green, and here comes Wimby once again. Walker's been open. She rises up. Can't hit. Sanders tried to save it and does. Now let's see if Rutgers chooses to go 2 for 1 here. 40 seconds left in the half. They won't get that opportunity. You might hear let her shoot. They wanted Green to shoot the ball. 3 seconds on the shot clock. 2. Cryer rises up from deep. Siani Cryer with her second three. And maybe she's not the one that you want to let shoot. Wimby feeds it up to Walker, who's hurt on the play. And coming down the other way, Wimby fouls Cryer. But Jasmine Walker is in some pain down on this end. With 8.2 to go, you see Walker down and she's grabbing onto her left shoulder. So Green will have 2 free throws with Rutgers up 7 as they continue to tend to Walker. Usually when you grab to the shoulder like that, you just want to get the player back to the bench. And that's what they're going to do right now. They're going to work on that. You hope she's all right. It'll be Green with 2 free throws after the foul by Wimby, who nearly had the rejection. Looking over to the Western Michigan sideline, they tend to Walker at the end of the bench. We'll keep our eye on it. 2 free throws for Green and a 9-point lead. After the kicked ball, Western Michigan will have to break the press if they want to get one more shot off here in this quarter. And Wimby lost it. Carey goes up, couldn't get the first one, but a foul. And Rutgers may come away with some points at the end of the quarter. Stacia Carey, the junior from Cleveland, Ohio, redshirt junior. Carey transferred from Pitt, sat out last year. Played in all of her games as a freshman and sophomore for the Panthers. Now 3 seconds left. Jordan Walker fouls at the end of the quarter. And hold on, this quarter is not over yet. Walker knocked Sanders down. So an offensive foul, no free throws this time. But we'll see if we put a few seconds back on the clock. Let's see if we can get a good look at how much time is left here from this angle. Tough to tell that time. This might be our best shot. Happened over on the side by us. And we don't have a good look, so they might have to just guess or speculate. You can't call at the end of the quarter because you call a foul before the triple zeros hit. And so you've got 3.2 seconds there. You can start to run it, maybe take a guess to see how much time is left after the 3.2. You may even be able, as the refs are looking at our angle here, that's what they're looking at. They get our monitor. So this also potentially determines whether or not the foul occurred before or after the 3.2 seconds. What the refs want is to go in regular speed to see how much time elapsed. Boy, that's tough. I don't envy, right? I don't envy the position that the refs are in to make that call. Let's see. They've come up with a decision. They'll put 0.8 seconds on the game clock here in the third quarter after the foul. Rutgers may get a chance for more points. They'll have the ball inbounding on their end with just less than a second remaining. So it is 0.8. Pryor inbounds. Carey tried to tap it, and that's the quarter. We'll head to the fourth, and what was a successful quarter for the Scarlet Knights in the third has turned in to a 10-point lead. We'll take it to the fourth quarter, Western Michigan and Rutgers, when we come back, heading to quarter number 4 on Flow Hoops TV.
From the calm waters of the Inner Bay to the spray of the Atlantic surf, nothing provides a more inviting getaway, yet one of the best experiences in the game of golf than the Abaco Club, home of the Bahamas Great Abaco Classic. Come put your game to the test alongside the next generation of PGA Tour professionals as the Web.com Tour tees off its season in the Caribbean. Pro-Am and sponsorship opportunities are available at greatabacoclassic.com. And remember, golf is always better in the Bahamas.
Andrew Landry. Andrew Landry, the winner here on Abaco.
I came in the week just trying to do my best and didn't get off to that good of a start, but turned it around and then played really 3 solid, really good rounds.
Well, as we begin the fourth quarter and Rutgers with a 10-point lead on Western Michigan, the feeling on the Broncos side is a little bit more somber after the injury to Jasmine Walker. They have taped up her shoulder on the sidelines, or they've at least braced it up. They're trying to keep it in place with ice on it, and I'm sure that after the game today they'll take a closer look. We'll be sure to monitor for tomorrow and see what they ultimately decide. You don't want to speculate one way or another. You just hope that she's all right. In the meantime, we move on and play basketball. Rutgers with a 10-point lead and the ball. Cryer hit 2 threes in the third. She's into the game along with Tyler Scaife. Cryer was open. She's still open, and she'll hoist. How about Jenkins skying for the rebound? Getting her own miss, going back up. Boy, she's the MVP behind Tyler Scaife of this team so far in these first 2 games. Jenkins, 5 of 7 now from the field. If you count that miss, she'll have 2 free throws. 11 points now, 7 rebounds, a block and a steal. Western Michigan, who rebounded the ball so well in the first half, having trouble now as Rutgers is moving to the ball. Cryer is open again, passes this one up. Jenkins has position on Hill instead, sets a screen. Scaife goes the opposite direction, feeds the cutting Jenkins, who's got 2 more. More press, more trouble for Western Michigan. This time they get it across the timeline, and Mobley wants to go coast to coast and does, and that's a big bucket for the Broncos, who have struggled to get going offensively because they haven't been able to bring the ball across half court. Now Mobley gets it done, and she'll head to the free throw line to try to complete the 3-point play for Western Michigan. 6 of 8 from the foul line. That one offline, and Jenkins hauls down her 8th rebound. Scaife with a 2-point shot. And the freshman Jordan Walker. Free throw line jumper up and then down for Latondra Brooks, the senior from Oak Lawn, Illinois. Back to single digits. It's a 9-point game. Bad pass that time. Carey tracks it down, though. Six on the shot clock, thrown away, picked up by the Broncos, and then fought for. Possession arrow on the held ball will favor Western Michigan. Again, it's every time out of the quarter. Rutgers has had the ball, and then we've had a held ball no less than a few minutes later. As we pick up the wet spot on the floor, now we're ready to go. Brianna Mobley to inbound, trying to break the press again. Walker is doubled. A whistle and a foul. That'll reset the shot clock to 30 and at least give Western Michigan a fresh 10 seconds to get it across. They get it to Walker. Rutgers backs off this time. Walker hoists for 3, short. Rebound to Scaife, or rather Cryer, and they wanted to travel on Cryer, the entire Western Michigan bench did. She saves it. Here's Jenkins again. This time feeding Scaife, who pro hops, floats, and misses. Down low, Mobley. Jump ball. And now the possession arrow goes back to Rutgers. As we take another look. Mobley had position, and she just bobbled the ball for a second. There's the held ball. Brianna Mobley has been the force on offense for Western Michigan. 7 of 11 from the field, team high 17 points and 12 rebounds. She's been great today. And I think for the remainder of this game, which is certainly not yet over with 6.5 to play, you've got to continue to feed her and work inside out to try and find somebody from the three-point line once she starts to draw defenders. Kate Hill's shot is in and out. Off the miss, Western Michigan wants to hustle. Mobley's got it up top. And now Najee Smith with the floater. Timeout Shane Klipfel. They want to set up their own defense with exactly 6 minutes to play. It's a 7-point Rutgers lead, thanks to Najee Smith's smooth play. And we'll be back.
From the calm waters of the Inner Bay to the spray of the Atlantic surf, nothing provides a more inviting getaway, yet one of the best experiences in the game of golf than the Abaco Club, home of the Bahamas Great Abaco Classic. Come put your game to the test alongside the next generation of PGA Tour professionals as the Web.com Tour tees off its season in the Caribbean. Pro-Am and sponsorship opportunities are available at greatabacoclassic.com. And remember, golf is always better in the Bahamas.
Andrew Landry. Andrew Landry, the winner here on Abaco.
I came in the week just trying to do my best and didn't get off to that good of a start, but turned it around and then played really 3 solid, really good rounds.
Hey, you get a look at the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, who are led by C. Vivian Stringer in her 23rd season. We've talked a little bit about her, but we haven't covered the fact that she is part of arguably the greatest class of Hall of Famers in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame's history. It's Vivian Stringer, Michael Jordan, David Robinson, John Stockton, and Jerry Sloan. That's the 5. Pretty darn good. Good company. That was back in 2009. Harris, baseline, jumper good. Back to 9. Western Michigan has to answer with 5.5 to play after the Klipfel timeout. Brooks has been thrust into action with Jasmine Walker on the sidelines. Walker still over there trying to will her team on. You can see her at the top of your screen with the bandage around her left shoulder. Safe to say she won't return to this game, and her status for tomorrow is up in the air. Najee Smith had a floater a moment ago. This time gets to the free throw line. Smith, who played in all 32 games last year, made 18 starts. Haven't seen as many minutes from her in these first 2 games. Yesterday, Smith played just 7 minutes. today. Up to 8 with 5 to play. I'm sure she'll be in as well to pick up the slack with Walker out of the game. Nice steal this time. It's Jordan Walker who stops off glass, hits for 2, and it's a 5-point game. There's the turnover in the backcourt that Western Michigan was looking for. A Jordan Walker bucket turns into a 5-point Rutgers lead as we take another break. It's Walker sticking her hand in the cookie jar and coming up with something sweet. We'll be back. This is the Gulf Coast Showcase on Flow Hoops TV.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
Well, we said this game's not over just yet, and we can continue to make that the case. 5 minutes to play. Western Michigan trailing Rutgers 60-55. The Scarlet Knights in the second half have maintained their lead that they built out of a 24-point third quarter. It was a 24-12 third quarter. In this quarter, though, the Scarlet Knights just 1 for 6 from the field. Western Michigan has showed up with the defense that they need, and with just under 5 to play, haven't seen Deja Wimby come back into the game in the fourth quarter yet. They've gotten some good minutes up top, though, from Jordan Walker. Whipping it around the perimeter, Sanders offline. Rebound to Western Michigan, and here they come. Smith has been the aggressor here in the fourth quarter. Gets a screen, slips it to Mobley, pulls up. Can't get the jumper to fall. It's a nicely designed play, well set up, good moves from both Smith and Mobley. Western Michigan couldn't finish. Scaife has been quiet here in the second half, or at least in the fourth quarter. She tries to go all the way in herself, forces the issue, draws the contact. Gets to the free throw line for Western Michigan, third team foul, or second team foul rather. So Scaife gets free throws. She leads the way today with 19 points on 9 of 15 shooting. A medical red shirt last year. Scaife, a senior from Little Rock, Arkansas. Scaife says that she wants the scoring title at Rutgers. She's still got a ways to go to get there, but she's a senior. It can be done this year. Hits a pair of free throws. It's a 7-point game. Working with Smith on the far side. Marley Hill up top. Now it's Walker, 8 on the shot clock. Mobley drives, 5 to shoot. Before the shot, an offensive foul. For Mobley, that's her 3rd foul. Western Michigan has been working the ball around the perimeter. But again, their success came down low in the first half. They sort of got away from that in the second half. Marley Hill has not touched the ball as much as she should in this 4th quarter. And Mobley has been playing from up top, whereas most of her success was down low. 5 on the shot clock. Jenkins has been busy. There she goes again. Caitlin Jenkins again in the second half. Now 15 for her. There's the slip screen. Mobley has it down low, and she gets the bucket. It's been working for Western Michigan. You see Mobley just come up, and there's no screen that's set. If you're Brianna Mobley, as long as it's working, I'd keep going. And you can build off of that too. You can come up with extensions of that play. It's a 6-point lead with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play. Jenkins a screen. Scaife with the pro hop. Went in wildly. Blocking foul. No free throws just yet. As we take another look, they get Brooks, who was moving, trying to defend and work around the screen. And she also took the brunt of an elbow. It's the 4th team foul, and now we're going to talk about this and whether or not it was a shooting foul. And that looked about as on the ground to me as I've seen. They're lined up to take free throws, but that's, I mean, yeah, I guess going up afterwards. Let's see. Yep, no shot. And they'll take it out of bounds. Fresh 30 on the shot clock, though, for Rutgers. With a 6-point lead, they can take their time. Scaife gets a screen. Goes the other way. Back to Rollins, mid-range. Too strong. Rebound to Western Michigan. Let's see if they set the same play up with Mobley. She just wants it in the post. May as well get it down to her already. She's fouled, gets the bucket. Brianna Mobley doing work down low. Opportunity to cut it to a 1-possession game. Mobley has 22 to lead all scorers. Four for 5 from the free throw line today. In and out. 4-point game. And a timeout from Vivian Stringer. Free throws down the stretch have been tough. Western Michigan has played well, 9 of 13 from the line, but here down the stretch, 2 and 1s. And an opportunity to cut the lead down to 2 had they converted on those. But for Western Michigan, their defense has stood tough here in the 4th quarter. Rutgers, this quarter, shooting 3 of 10 from the field. And if not for Caitlin Jenkins in this second half, Rutgers might not be in the lead. She's 5 of 7 in this half. She's got 11 points and 9 rebounds. For the game, a double-double, 15 and 11. 10 on the shot clock. Sanders Scaife has to go, 6 to shoot. Gets a screen, drives in wildly, and a foul, another one as Scaife pro-hopped once again and drew the contact. This was the same play that they set up a moment ago. This time Brooks did get around the screen well, but they called a foul on Walker. So Tyler Scaife gets 2 free throws, 2 of 2 from the line here today, 2 of 3 yesterday. It's the first. Scaife entered the year 10th on the all-time Rutgers scoring list. And she takes over the game's lead with 23 points. Back to 6. Deja Wimby has not come into the game in this fourth quarter. She's been on the bench with 6 turnovers. They feed Mobley once again, too easy. Mobley and Scaife go back and forth. Now if you're Western Michigan, though, you can't trade buckets. A minute to play, down 4, same set. As Scaife works it around to the far side, they try Jenkins. They'll set it up again, 10 to shoot. Scaife wants a screen, gets it. Back to her left, inside with a floater. Tyler Scaife hits the bucket. And Shane Klipfel wants time. Scaife also pulled up as she tries to stretch things out now. On the way down, she may have landed awkwardly. Let's take another look at the made basket. Scaife went to the opposite side. There you see her pull up just a little bit, but she's all right. Looks like she'll stay in this game. Back to 6 with 43 seconds to go. Now if you're Western Michigan, I know Mobley has been the answer. You've got a decision to make if you're Shane Klipfel. You've either got to go back inside to what's been working, as Mobley has hit on 67% of her shots, or you have to try a 3-point field goal down 6 with 40 to play, where you're 1 for 8 from 3 on the day. The only 3 came from Jasmine Walker, and she's out of this game. Well, let's see what they decide. Got to go quickly. Jordan Walker with the ball in her hands. Down 6, you've got to go quicker than this. 3 in the corner, Smith offline. Rebound to Rutgers. No shot clock, they've got a foul, and they do. Smith had a good look from 3. And now 1 of 9, the 3 ball just not working for Western Michigan today. So Scaife back to the line to try and add to her game high. The high scorer yesterday was Asia Wilson. She had 33. Scaife doing her best. 27 for her today on 10 of 16 shooting. And another timeout. We'll take the timeout as well and bring it on back and give you an idea of what's in store for the rest of this day here at Germain Arena. This is the Gulf Coast Showcase.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I don't have a cell phone. So when my landline cut out, we just felt so isolated.
The power was down on the entire block. It was a Saturday, so the kids were home. Hey.
I wouldn't say that I'm addicted, but when I lost my cable and internet, I was paralyzed.
You have no idea what they put me through.
And all because my neighbors didn't call 811. Did they, honey?
For more information, visit www.call811.com.
Oh no, not again.
Well, we're back at the Gulf Coast Showcase, and we get a chance to look at what the rest of the day has in store with 25.5 to play, an 8-point Rutgers lead. After this one, we'll have the second of the consolation games between Washington State and East Tennessee State. And later tonight, as Smith is deep on the three, the ball will stay with Western Michigan. Later tonight, we've got the winners bracket side with South Carolina taking on St. John's and South Florida and Notre Dame. Jenkins has whistled for a bad foul before the inbounds. It's an 8-point game. That's free throws without time ticking off the clock. You might think the game's in hand, but if somehow Western Michigan manages to come back, you can look at that right there and say that's just not good decision making on the part of Jenkins. Great games from Scaife and Mobley, though, today. Should the result hold here, Western Michigan will play at 11 o'clock tomorrow against the loser of Washington State ETSU. Scaife will head back to the free throw line. And again, should this result hold, Rutgers will play tomorrow at 1:30 against the winner of that game. Scaife gets to clean up at the free throw line. She's got 28 points. She's played a great game. This is to tie a career high right here. Got it. 29 for Tyler Scaife to match her career high against Seton Hall back in 2014. Walker tries a three, well short, rebound Rollins, and we'll get one more foul. Rutgers has a chance to end this with a double-digit victory should Rollins pick up these two. But some impressive performances. Scaife with 29, 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Caitlin Jenkins with 15 on 7 of 9 shooting. And 11 rebounds for Jenkins. Those numbers for her good enough to help Rutgers grab this win. A season high in points for Jenkins. She goes back up for two more. Play to the whistle, I suppose, an 11-point Rutgers lead. And with 4 seconds to go, that will just about do it. A 1:30 start, or about half an hour from now, we'll get going for game number 2 between Washington State and ETSU. With 2 seconds left, one more shot, good if it goes. And that's the ball game. An 11-point Rutgers Scarlet Knights victory over Western Michigan here in game 1 of day 2. Tyler Scaife leading the way with 29 to tie a career high. Caitlin Jenkins with 17 and 12 rebounds. In a losing effort, Brianna Mobley had 26 big points and 12 rebounds. Deja Wimby played well in the first half, but too many turnovers for her. And Marley Hill with 14 points and 8 rebounds as well. That does it for game number 1. We can take a quick look at the bracket so that you can find out where your team plays tomorrow. You see Western Michigan, they'll head down to the bottom left-hand portion of our screen and play at 11 a.m. against the loser of the next game, Washington State and ETSU. Rutgers will play at 1:30 with a chance to pick up 2 straight victories after a tough loss to South Carolina yesterday. Spencer Siegel thanking you for joining me here for this first game of day 2 of the Gulf Coast Showcase. We'll sign off and bring it back in about a half an hour for ETSU and Washington State at Tremaine Arena.